welcome to Godly Play at Church of the Advent. My name is Miss Celia, and Miss Kim and Miss Sally and I are going to tell you a miracle. Jesus calms the storm. Let's get ready.
After Jesus was baptized, he traveled about the country, teaching people about God, how to live with each other and love each other. He said such wonderful things and did such amazing things that people would come a long way just to listen to him. Jesus did miracles to help people understand what God was like. He wanted to show everyone God's love and power. This is a story about something amazing Jesus did. Storms can make you afraid, can't they? The wind blows very hard, the sky gets dark, then it starts to rain. There can be loud thunder and lightning flashing. It can be very frightening. We want to be safe inside when it storms. Once, long ago, Jesus and his disciples were in a terrible storm. They were crossing the Sea of Galilee in a sailboat, and it was late in the day. It was almost night. You see, the day had been a very long one for Jesus. He had been teaching the people for many hours without stopping. A big crowd of people had come to hear Jesus that day. The crowd had gotten bigger and bigger as people heard that Jesus was teaching by the seaside. Soon, the people were pushing each other and trying to get near Jesus. Jesus had to move to the edge of the water. He couldn't move anymore without being in the water. Finally, Jesus had to get into the boat and teach from the boat. The people stayed on land. Then they could all see Jesus in the boat and hear him too. Jesus taught for many hours. No one left. They listened until it was getting dark. Jesus was getting very tired. He needed to rest and sleep. As soon as the people left, the disciples started to sail across the sea. They were going to the other side, where Jesus could be alone and rest. At first, they sailed along in a soft wind. Jesus had found a place to lie down and rest. Soon he was fast asleep. He was so tired he didn't hear anything that was going on around him. The disciples were talking among themselves. They weren't expecting anything to happen. Suddenly, the wind began to blow very hard. The waves got higher and higher, crashing into the boat. The boat rocked from side to side as the water sloshed in the boat. The sky was dark and black. The disciples were now afraid the boat would sink. "We are all going to drown in the water," they said. The disciples shouted to wake up Jesus. "Teacher, wake up! The boat is going to sink. Don't you care if we all drowned?" Jesus woke up and looked at the storm. He was not afraid. But Jesus knew how scared his disciples were. He said to the storm, "Quiet! Be still!" Suddenly, the wind stopped blowing and the waves stopped crashing into the boat. The sea became still and quiet. The sky was no longer dark. Jesus had stopped the storm by just speaking to it. It was amazing. Jesus said to the disciples, "You shouldn't have been so afraid." They just looked at Jesus. Some of them were still a little afraid. The disciples wondered how Jesus could make the storm stop. They even said to one another, "Even the wind and waves obey him. Now, I wonder why Jesus wasn't afraid of the storm. I wonder if Jesus spoke to the storm in a loud voice or a soft voice. I wonder why the disciples were still afraid after the storm stopped. I wonder if you have ever been afraid of something. Now it is time to get out your supplies, paper and markers and crayons, and make something about this story. Thanks for coming. Bye.